guys, I'm Grandmaster Shaymin and welcome back to Flower Paradise, and today we have another episode of our Robotics Notes Elites playthrough. Hope you guys have been enjoying the previous few episodes. If you guys have missed any of them, I'd highly recommend checking them out. A lot of really good information and the artwork and stuff is absolutely fantastic. The 3D models are actually really good, to be honest. I really enjoy them, so make sure you guys are hitting that like button. That would be showing me some real support. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, so we'll just get right on into it. So Subaru is walking home, and I assume that's his dad. When I get back from school, I spot Dad relaxing in the living room while watching TV. My dad, Hiromu, is a fisherman. He goes out to fish around 3 a.m. and comes home a bit after noon. He doesn't talk much, and he can be stubborn, but he provides the family, and I respect him.
遅かったな。
友達と B コープに寄ってたんだ。
そうか。
母さんは？
醤油が切れたらしい。買いに行ってる。
そう。
When I peek into the kitchen, I see that dinner is still in the middle of being made. She'll probably be back soon.
じいちゃんとばあちゃんはまだ畑？
なあ。
父さん、風呂は？
まだだわ。
じゃあ沸かしとく。
頼む。
I end the conversation, and just as I start to make my way to the room to change,
スバル。
Dad stops me in my tracks.
何？
He's still staring at the TV screen. The evening news is on. The newscaster is explaining that Typhoon number 02 is on a path from Okinawa to South Korea.
昨日はいつ帰ってきたんだ？学校に遅刻したそうだな。
ああ、1限目には間に合わなかったんだ。船の時間があるからどうしても。
鹿児島は楽しかったか？
まあね。
その鹿児島の友達というのは付き合いが長いのか？
I hesitate for a moment. Dad's never asked this much about my social life before. Has he figured it out? No, that's impossible.
そこそこには。どうして？
前も何度か鹿児島に遊びに行って月曜の朝に帰ってきたことがあっただろう。
My heart rate naturally rises. I suddenly notice that my mouth is completely dry.
日曜のうちに戻ってくるようにはできないのか？学生の本分は勉強だ。学校の授業をおろそかにするような遊び方はするな。
ごめん。気をつけるよ。
I somehow manage to feign calmness and reply. That's when Dad switches his gaze from the TV to me.
何？
おととい東京でロボットの大会があったらしい。
I reflectively swallow my breath. Is there some sweat on my forehead? Is there anything unnatural about me right now? Anxiety swirls around inside my chest. I desperately try to make sure that none of it appears on my face.
その大会にお前の学校の生徒も出場していたそうだな。
へえ、そうなんだ。知らなかったよ。
I curse in my mind. Akio Sinomiya and Kaito Yashio. In my head, I throw every foul word I can at my incompetent
お
underclassmen.
前はそれとは関係ないんだな。
当たり前だよ。
I know for sure that my voice was steady when I answered him. This helps me regain some
ホビ
composure.
ーロボはもうやめたんだ。それが父さんとの約束だろ。心配しないでよ。
See, that's weird though, because like everyone talks about how, oh man, I wish my kid was like an engineer, or I wish my kid was a doctor or a lawyer or something. Engineers make a ton of money. People making robot parts, like, and especially if there's a robot boom right now, like, you know the amount of money that you can get if you're really good at robots, even today. Like, it's something that actually does not only pay well, but it's actually a really good job, and you need to be really smart to do it. So, I'm actually curious on why his dad hates the idea of him, you know, using hobby robots or playing with hobby robots, because it just doesn't make much logical sense. Most parents would be like, oh man, that's way better than smoking cigarettes or, you know, being a neat shut-in that doesn't do anything but play games, you know? like, not that there's anything crazy wrong with playing games, but most parents wouldn't want you to be a shut-in that has no life playing games all the time. They would much rather you go out and compete in tournaments and do crazy, really talented things with engineering, which he would be doing in creating his robots. So Dad's sharp gaze feels like it pierces through me, seeing everything. I also wonder when he had time to build his robot, because like if he's only recently been going out late and getting home late from school, did he do it in his room and like have to hide it when his dad came in? Like I feel like he would have been caught out by now. To avert my eyes, I pick up the bag placed on the floor.
ならいい。
Dad seems to buy my lies and returns his gaze to the TV
風呂を
screen.
沸かしてくるよ。
I retreat into my room. I close the sliding door, and once I'm all alone, I take a deep, deep breath. Sigh of relief. It's then that I notice my underarms are soaked in sweat. On the way back from the TNSC, after parting with Akio, I end up coming to this park. I feel kind of sentimental, which is really out of character for me. Must have been that dream this morning, almost 10 years ago, when I watched a rocket launch from here. Why am I remembering it now of all times? Who am I kidding? I know why. It's because Akio talked about going to the TNSC. But I didn't come here to relive my old memories. I have one objective at the end of the day.
昼バラ
KB.
起動
Yep. Alright. That wasn't too bad, right? I mean, I'm glad they at least show me what the combo is on the screen.
今日は調子良かったな。まさかタジリンに勝てるとはね。
Still, getting matched with Tagiringer at a time like this almost feels like the work of some mysterious force, like the god of fighting games or something. It's thanks to that god's mechanisms that I end up remembering something about my past, when Misade was still a high schooler on the island, about how I felt when I played games with her. Not once did she ever show any mercy. She just pummeled me into the ground. I was only an elementary schooler at the time. Talk about immature, right? Or maybe she just hated the very concept of losing. I will admit, I have 3 younger siblings, and I didn't like losing either, to be fair. I mean, I'm not super competitive. Like, if I lose, I lose. But I don't really, I don't purposely do worse. Just because I always put, 110% effort into, what I do, I feel like. So, it's one of those things where I was like, I can't play a game and then just do okay. Or put in okay effort. Sure, I can suck at the game. There's plenty of games I suck at, but I won't purposely do worse or put in lackluster effort into just about anything. But thanks to that, I ended up getting tough, making me into the player I am now. Even now, Misanea is the wall I'm trying to overcome.
タジリンか。
Tandirina is presently ranked number 4 on the Kill Ballad leaderboards. I actually have a hypothesis about their true identity. I figure it could be Misane out in Tokyo. I occasionally see some of Misane's habits come through in their play. Their handle is also mighty suspicious. Tangerina is a play on Senomiya's sister's favorite phrase. This would explain why they never use Voicha or reveal their identity. Misane is super popular after all. Anyway, when I imagine Misane quietly playing games like back in the day, it puts a smile on my face. That said, I never actually looked into this little theory of mine, and I don't plan on doing so. and that's because it would make me feel really sad if I found out it wasn't her. It's more exciting to just enjoy my silly theory in a vacuum. I suddenly sense someone gaze at and raise my head from the screen, but there's nobody besides me in the park. It's late after all. It's quiet. The only sounds are those of chirping insects. A message arrival sound suddenly rings out from my phone droid. It caught me off guard, causing me to panic for a
メール
moment.
受信。
I see you, O. Ah, yes. More source code. What is it? ID? Is it ID?
またゲジねえか。
Oh man, the music changed. You can tell it's something, it's the, super suspicious, questioning your existence part of the game. The message is all garbled. The only readable text in the sender's name is the sender's name, Gejine. I've been getting these messages on occasion for a while now. The weird thing about it is I only ever got them at Uchugakoa Park. I figured they might be some kind of prank or something. But I do remember hearing something about this before. Who did I hear it from? A classmate? An old lady in the neighborhood? Or was it some urban legend on the net? Either way, this is how it goes. Uchigakoa Park is haunted. All of a sudden, my phone droid screen distorts and freezes up. It doesn't respond when I press the home button.
なんだよこれ。
For some reason, I'm starting to feel uneasy. Then, a strange noise plays from my phone droid. It's unpleasant and hard on the ears. The sound is enough to disturb my nerves. Meanwhile, my phone droid's screen is still frozen. Sound continues to pour out of it. Is it broken? Or, I try lightly hitting it, but it doesn't respond. For reasons I can't explain, I look around me. I get the chills and soon realize I have goosebumps. Cut me some slack here. Are you seriously saying that this is supernatural? Am I being punked? Plus, I can't even counterattack. They're cheesing me like crazy. In an unwinnable battle like this, retreat is the only option. What a pain in the ass. They're the one cheesing, not me. I should ask Mizuka-san about ghost rumors the next time. Heidi. Just now. I totally just saw something that looked like a humanoid. The sound stops and my phone droid is responsive again. For some reason, Irio is open. It's at this very moment that something appears on my screen.
聞こえますか?
Huh?
That would be creepy as shit, though. Like, look how dark it is outside. Like, can you imagine if, like, your phone that you're doing just distorts? You're like, what the heck? You're in the middle of a park by yourself, and then you hear some girl's distorted voice coming through an app that you didn't even open. Like, a voice. A person's voice. It's already July, so it's not all that cold, but every hair on my body stands straight up as I shiver. Time to go home. Time to go home right now. Yeah, that's fair. That would be pretty sketchy. I'm just saying, like the way that the music sounded too was that really eerie feeling. It wasn't like, you know, scary, but it was like you get that really uneasy feeling, kind of like that uncanniness of the situation. I enter the facility room at the worst timing imaginable and run into the vice president. I force a stiff smile onto my face and bow slightly. The vice principal likewise gives me a straight nod and walks past me. God, my heart can't take this. This is why I didn't want to come here to the faculty room. It's all Michi's fault. Why did he call me
ミッ
here?
チー来たけど
Michi is casually sitting at his desk eating delivery zaru soba. Why am I even here?
おい、瀬宮妹、なんで言ったらわかるんだ。先生のことミッチーと呼ぶな。
だったらミッチーも瀬宮妹って呼ばないでよ。
妹は妹だろうが。
ちょっとお箸振り回さないで。おつゆ飛んだ。
What if it leaves a stain?
ね
God.
話って何？
Wait a second, but didn't she not care about oil stains? Didn't she not care about oil stains, like, towards the beginning? Wasn't, like, she fixing the robot, and she's like, there would be badges of honor. But she's like, if it stains my potentially, the shirt that I don't mind staining with oil, shame on you. I mean, to be fair, you shouldn't be waving chopsticks around like that. I mean, I guess it's better than like a soup, like a spoon. Like, oh, hey, what's going on? And then just soup flies out of the spoon.
ああ、そうそう。
Michi puts down his chopsticks and turns to face me.
いいか、よく聞け。例のロボワンの賞金のことだけどな。
Oh boy. For some reason, he says this in a hush
振り
voice.
込みの日もう連絡来た？その日が待ち遠しいな。
Our little Tanagashi Machine 3 won an impressive second place at Robo 1. Our prize, a whopping 1 million yen. Right after the tournament, I was so busy despairing over the club that it didn't really hit me at the time. But right now that we're clear, that 1 million yen is like a radiant light of hope. It's several times more than the funds I requested from the VP. With that kind of cash, we basically already won. But apparently there's a lot of paperwork that needs doing, so the cash won't be wired to us for about a month. Of course, since we're students, and we entered the Robo 1 as the Robot Club, the money's being sent to the school. Either way, that money belongs to the Robot Club, which means we can use it however we
お
want.
金が振り込まれたら真っ先にドクにツケを払って、あとはガンツクワン用のパーツを買い漁る予定なんだ。たぎってきた。
それがな、振り込み自体は来月されるらしいが、手続きがいろいろあってな。特にうちは公立校だから。
Okay.
ん？何が言いたいの？
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
つまりだな、部費として賞金を使えるようになるのは手続き上来年の4月からになるんだわ。これ豆知識な。
The sad part is that I've heard like this process in Japan is actually like that's actually how it kind of works. Like the amount of paperwork and stuff required to fill out for certain things actually could take several months. Now it's July, so you know, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 9 months. That is a lot of months to wait for the money.
えー、
Yeah,
来
that's kind
年
of
の4月
ridiculous.
ってそれじゃうちら卒業してるよ。
お、そうだな。
全然ちっとも意味ないじゃん。万博は来年の2月からなのに、それまでにガンツクワンを完成させなきゃいけないのに。
It would only be used in the school's budget, so it's not like they're actually getting it. That's messed up, man. That's messed.
いいか、瀬宮妹。
The sad thing is,
俺
that
が
I
あ
think
り
it's
がたい
actually
言葉を授けてや
realistic.
る。
That's the sad part, is that the amount of paperwork and stuff and the processing time and stuff, I could actually, from what I've heard about Japan, I can actually see that being possibly a case, but I don't know about 9 months. Maybe like 4 or 5 I could see as being more realistic for Japan. Like they do take a long time to get it done, but I mean 9 months is just
な、
nuts.
何？
金は天下の回り物ってことさ。わかったか？
わかんないよ。
Kai, why is Kai never around at times like this? I want to ruffle his hair up as hard as I can.
まさか教頭先生？また教頭先生の嫌がらせなの？
おい、落ち着けよ。なわけないだろ。
だってこんなの
I thought we'd finally gotten past our funding
こん
woes.
な理不尽なのあんまりだよ。せっかく介護頑張ってくれたのに。
まあ、こればっかりはな。諦めろ。俺じゃどうにもできん。
じゃあミッチ100万円貸して。来年部費で返す。
瀬宮妹、いいこと教えてやるぞ。先生な、貯金はゼロだ。
威張る
Can't we ever get a clean win? To be fair, I mean, it's not like teachers make that much, but how is his money at 0? What is he spending it all on? Like, for real? Where is Frau Kojiro? I come all the way up from the hangar at the old airport and click my tongue lightly. Don't tell me I'm just another naive dude believing the words of a pretty girl. I've been matched up with Tokyo girls in online matches, but that's it. Is it normal to make plans and then ditch? I guess I'll just play Kill Ballad and wait, keep my expectations low. But then I hear something. Is Is it Gejine again? It's a bit too crude of a sound to be heard.
お
Sounds like a car horn, but at a time and place like this, are they calling for me?
やれやれ。
I decided to go and check out the situation. The old airport parking lot. There's an abandoned hotel in between it and the road out front. They relocated when the airport closed down. It's gone unused ever since. I recognize the light truck parked
あれ
there.
サンダーエンペラーだ。
Thunder Emperor is just a nickname. That's the nickname for the owner of the car. The owner of the
ヤ
car
シ
game.
オなんだその格好は。それで作業するつもりか？
I recognize the man in the driver's seat. For some reason, he finds fault in me wearing my school
いい
uniform.
かこういう時は汚れてもいいように体操着を着ておくもんだぞ。これ豆知識な。
ミッチー何やってんの？
見てわかるだろ
廃品回収？いつ教師辞めたわけ？
う。やめとらん。いいか先生は今でも先生だ。
じゃあ荷台の大量の荷物は何なの？
引っ越しだ。たく京都め絶対にロボワンの時の当てつけだよな。
Moving, huh? Well, I have a pretty good idea of who's doing the moving. Looks like I've been
いいか
tricked.
ヤシオ覚えとけ。長いものには巻かれろだ。
As Michi gets out of the car, he says something entirely unbecoming of an educator.
学生の頃はまだ生きがっててもいいがな。社会に出たら偉いものに媚びへつらう。それでこそ円滑な仕事関係が築けるってもんだ。
He's not entirely wrong, though.
これは豆知識じゃねえぞ。処世術だ。わかるな。
わかるけど、仮にも教師がそういうこと言う？
先生は本音で語る教師なんだ。だから尊敬してもいいんだぞ。
Not happening. I ignore Michi and look around. As expected, there's no sign of
ね
Frau
お
Kojiro.
前は古氷とはどこで知り合ったんだ？
Furugori.
古氷？
Furugori. What?
まさかこの前東京に行った時か。お前って意外とたらしなんだな。
For some reason, Michi is grinning at me. What a pain. Maybe I should bail before it's too
俺は
late.
古氷なんて人は知らないから帰るよ。
やべえ
I hear what sounds like a girl shrieking nearby. After what happened at Uchigakawa Park yesterday, I reflectively raised my guard. The voice came from the Thunder Emperor's truck bed. There are multiple large boxes stacked up on top of it. I cautiously peek inside. And there I found Frau Kojiro sprawled out between the boxes, a sickly expression on her face.
何してんの？
手伝いもせずに帰るとかもうやだこの島絶対に許さない。
何してるかって聞いてるんだけどね。
そこのガチムチ教師の運転が荒すぎてコーラ吹いた。軽く死ぬる。
R.I.P. in peace. Not sure that's how that works, but as usual, the way that she uses her words is confusing as hell. Is this fashionable in Tokyo or something? I don't remember hearing anyone talk like her when I was
PC が
there.
大事だから抱えて荷台に乗るとか言い出してな。西の表の港からここまでずっとゴロゴロ転がってたんだよ。でもな、ヤシオならわかるだろ。先生は至って安全運転だったぜ。
ミッチーは法定速度は守るけど運転荒いからね。
If you sit in the passenger seat, it's manageable, but the back, she must have gotten whipped around. No wonder she's sick.
でさ、君って本名なんて言うの？
コウジロフラウ17歳。キリ
Kitty? I suppose I could just find out just by looking at her tag.
ちなみに先月17になったばっかりなんです。ついに私も永遠の17歳ですぞ。
こいつは古氷コナだ。アホっぽい名前だから先生はすぐ覚えたぞ。
Kona Furugori is her name. Okay. Kona Furugori. And I guess Frau Kojiro is her pen
だって
name.
誰がドキュンネームだしね。
Like hell, I have a DQN name like that.
はいはいわかった。これじゃ話進まないからさ、とりあえず荷台から降りてよ、コナちゃん。
Kona Yona-chan.
その名前で呼ぶとか嫌がらせすぐる。
His cruel and unusual punishment. Fair enough. After pulling Frau out of the back truck bed, it seems she can barely stand. I'm actually curious. I want to get more of these. I can't pay Doc bad, which means all that's left is death. Rest in peace. Nothing really too interesting. I'm hoping there's more like tweepos that are actually like really fascinating ones. After pulling Frau out of the truck bed, it seems she can barely stand.
テラキモス。
Terra Nasty. She certainly looks ill. She's been hanging her head the whole time too. She's not even trying to make eye
お
contact.
今さら気づいたけどうちの高校の制服着てるね。
Yeah, see,
なんで
this uniform is the same as Misane's, so that picture was them there. But I guess that was technically different than the spaceport, so I guess he was right. But it just seems kind of weird that you would say I haven't been here in 12 years, but I've watched rocket launches before that, really close by. I don't know.
うちの学校に転校してきたからに決まってるだろ。これは豆知識でもなんでもねえぞ、ヤシオ。
転校
Is that why she moved here? But why don't I see her parents anywhere?
それでどこに引っ越すわけ
ここに決まってるでしょ。上皇。
Joko. She points to the abandoned hotel in front of
こ
us.
こ廃墟なんだけど。
買い取りました。
誰が
それは私です。
お金は
キルバラで稼いだ金、うん千万あったんで。それほとんどつぎ込んだし。
Yeah, I mean, Kill Ballad, you said, is one of the most popular games. I'm sure it's easily making that much money, yeah. KB only costs 115 yen, but even at that price, with tens of millions of downloads, she must have made a ton. It's kind of like Fate Go. It's a free game to download, but they're like a multi-billion-dollar company now. Well, multi-billion-dollar worth game. Like the game is worth multi-billion dollars. Like it's just insane. She's like night and day compared to Akio and her complaints over 10,000 yen parts. But geez, she seriously bought an old place like this and plans to live here? What in the world is she
おい
thinking?
ヤシオ、そろそろ始めるぞ。
To be fair, I mean, if she's a multi-millionaire, then, you know, if you get her onto the club team, I'm just saying, that's what I'd do. I'd exploit her financial gain for my own success. I think that's the plan. That's a pretty good plan right there. Get started on what? I have a bad feeling about
先
this.
生は忙しいんだ。とっとと荷物運び終わらせて、とっとと帰る。これ豆知識な。
Come on, give me a break. I got called out here just to do this. I can probably still escape.
俺用事思い出したから帰らせてもらうわ。
But Frau grabs the cuff of my shirt. She's still avoiding eye contact. All she does is look at the cuff of my shirt with a sickly expression on her face. Damn it, she's not gonna let me escape. Fine, we'll do this the hard
ど
way.
うしても俺に頼みたいって言うなら
I brush Frau's hand away and look in her eyes. Our eyes meet for a moment and Frau immediately averts her gaze. I slowly pull my phone droid out of my bag against my
俺と
waist.
勝負して勝ってからに
プログラム提供してあげた件について。
な
Yep.
借りは返すべきでしょ、上皇。見返りなしで助けてあげるほど綺麗なフラウタンではないのだぜ。デュー。
Dude, look at her freaking face. look at her face. Worth. I can't argue with that. I put my phone droid away.
これでラスト
I put the box on the floor and raised both fists into the air. In the end, I made over 10 trips. Her stuff was way too heavy. I could barely move my arms at this point. What on earth did she pack? Not only that, but she made an absurd request that we carry them to the corner room on the 3rd floor. The elevator doesn't even work and all the halls are filled with trash, making it hard to walk. Is this some kind of harassment?
いい汗かいたな。これぞ青春ってやつかもな。とっておきの言葉を教えてやるぞ。ヤシオ、古氷。
She basically has a mansion because she owns a whole hotel to herself.
汗をかいた分だけ人は優しくなれるんだ。
ああ、そう。
I don't have the mental strength to listen to him. I'm doing all I can to match my breath and avoid an attack. I don't want to put a burden on my body. Plus, Akio isn't here right now. I just squat down in place and
トン
breathe.
クス
I heard a voice from somewhere. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen Frau in a while. Where is she? I look around the room. My eyes eventually stop on her holding her knees balled up in a corner of the room. She kind of looks like some sort of ghost bound to the hotel or
トン
something.
クスって何？
トン
は
ウォッツ
おお。
くそ伝わらなさすぎだろ
Look at him. You don't get it. I'm too smart for you. Frau mutters and lightly punches the wall.
イラ壁
The reason I don't get anything is because Frau uses too much net slang from 10 years ago. And hey, I helped her out, didn't I? Why is she snapping back at me? Just for the record, the walls and the floors of this room are crazy run down. This really does look like a room in an abandoned building. If I wasn't so worried about having an attack, I'd never want to sit down on the
コ
floor.
ナちゃんさ、こんなところに住むつもり？
そのつもりですが何か
She's
明
serious.
日改装業者入れる予定あとセキュリティ最優先事項何しろ私の PC 超絶スーパーハイスペックなわけではいじゃなくてはいなここ重要あとキルバラのオリジナルのソースコードとか入ってるしついでに言うと私がこれまでに集めまくった腐った画像とか軽く1テラ超えてるっつうかっていう
She's so funny. Like honestly, she's got some just like cute qualities. She just seems like a really interesting character. Rotten. I can't tell if that's a good or a bad thing. I'm so
これ
confused.
パクられたらどうやって生きていけと申すか
知らないよ。なんで一人で切れてるんだよ。
I don't think they didn't say Fred at all. He said Chiranayo. Anyway,
というわけで
which means I don't
やら
know.
れる前にやれの法則絶対に誰も突破できないようなトラップだらけのセキュリティシステムにして引きこもるつまり自宅警備員こそ最強
でもさ、こんな広いところに一人で住むわけ？だったらハイホテルじゃなくて普通の家でよかったんじゃ？
だが断るこの廃墟な感じが燃えるんだろう上皇あとはジーパンに上半身裸のイケメンキボンヌアンニョイな表情で鏡にパンチとかさせれば思考
I ignore whatever I don't
親は？
understand.
少なくともパパは東京
What a strange way of phrasing it.
母親は？
Frau goes quiet, and I shoot Michi a questioning look instead. Of course, he doesn't take the hint. He's asleep. I was a fool for expecting anything from such a worthless teacher.
母親は？
I slightly rephrase the question and try again. Frau turns her gaze to the scenery outside the window. I see the side of her face.
ママは
She hasn't finished speaking, but judging by her expression, Frau looks tremendously lonely. I brace myself to hear the rest of her answer. But all she does is smile at me. I don't know if that means she's dead or if she was just playing that out. She's probably dead, I assume. It's probably what happened. Memo to the gun barrel
読んでください。
prototype. Model 1 moves solidly. Change the statistical concept of prototype Model 1. Get rid of unnecessary parts. Remove the inside cockpit. Change it to a remote control. And remove the exterior. Dang, there's so much kanji. I mean, I can at least read like cockpit or concepto or gunbaru. Yeah, it's just the kanji, man. Some of the kanji, I don't think I actually get like any of it really. I assume the kanji at the start, like the first 4 or 5 characters, Because there's the number 1 there by prototype model 1. So I'm assuming maybe prototype 1 model no, and then something, maybe statistical concept no, and I assume that's maybe change or switch at the end, because the verb usually comes at the end of the sentence, so I'm assuming that's what that is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you guys smash that like button because you already know your support's greatly appreciated, as well as leaving a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the series to this point. If you guys haven't watched the anime, what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you guys enjoy the way I'm doing this? Do you want to see anything different about this series? Because I know it can be sometimes hard when you're watching someone play a visual novel. There's so much that I can add, but I want to make sure that the voice actors and voice actresses are coming through and that you hear them. So I'm only putting my input on certain points. And, it is a lot of reading. So it's just kind of like a niche audience, I already know. But I think the story is really, really interesting. And I'm curious to see if we get more information in the visual novel than we do in the anime about Heidi and the whole situation with that. And plus, it's been a long time, so I can't really remember a lot about the overarching storyline where you're questioning human existence and stuff, kind of like the Steins Gate Chaos Head, crazy theoretical concepts that this one also has. So I'm curious to see how that comes into play with Heidi and whatnot, because I honestly don't remember too much about it. But hope you guys did enjoy, and make sure you guys like and subscribe. Subscribe so that way you can see more content. And there's a ton of other stuff on the channel. So even if this isn't your thing, which if you've made it this far in the video, I'm pretty sure it's your thing. But there's a lot of other stuff on the channel too to kind of we have a lot for everybody, and I want to try and make a more wide variety of content, just because I feel like the channel's less about like what is on the channel and more about this is like all of my hobbies, and this is what I'm interested in, and this is what I want to try and put